What's up, YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. This one is actually by request. Um, I hope everybody's had a good week out there. It's Thursday, winding down. Tomorrow's Friday. We head into the weekend, so let's go. Anyway, I woke up this morning and someone had commented on the SGC grade reveal video from Saturday, and it said, would you please do a reaction video to HGA's newest video? I was like, okay, I have no idea what's going on, but let me do some looking into it. Honestly, it's very rare that anyone actually reaches out and asks me to do a video on something. Um, I'm not one that has to rush to the computer or go live as soon as something like this comes out with breaking news or whatever. About the only time I've ever really done breaking news stuff is if SGC announces anything that would affect the group submissions or pricing or something like that, that I need to make sure everybody out there is made aware of. I will talk about things if it's asked, but uh, to be quite honest, I don't sit and keep up with the alerts on all these different companies and everything else because, quite honestly, I'm not using them. I I'll be quite honest, I have no interest in using HGA. I have spoken on them, certain things like the last video they did, and that sort of stuff. Mostly just because of topics or questions or discussions that arise or whatever. And, I'll give my opinion on it. Doesn't mean my opinion is right, but it also does not always mean my opinion is wrong. We are all allowed to have them. So, if anybody's wondering, if you haven't seen it yet, let me move this over so you can see the whole thing here. All right, so HGA's first look at AI grading program. You've probably seen this video already. If you have not seen this particular video, then you've seen Retro's Hoops video, you've seen Sports Card Anonymous, Dakota's video, you've seen Because I'm Carlos, or you've seen Neo, or I don't even know who else has done a video on it. I've listened to quite a few of them after watching this a couple times. And the consensus or the popular opinion, for the most part, I'm not going to say everybody, but for the most part, people pretty much said the same thing. There was questions of whether or not they were trolling folks. There's several different things out there. My opinion, and I'm not going to go through and play the video and all that because, like I said, pretty much everybody's probably watched it. You can just sit here and look at this shit. 165 upvotes to 100 downvotes. That should tell them something right there. Um, People talk about me getting downvotes. Woof. This video will probably get a downvote as well. It is what it is. But anyway, my honest opinion is this was a strategically timed video. Obviously, HGA had the issue where the slab wasn't sealed, or a couple slabs weren't sealed. The guy broke them right apart with his hands. And then following that up, there was the news of the Mahomes auto that they slabbed that was fake. And there was a lot of gasoline being thrown on a burning fire. And I think they tried to put another center of focus out there for their company, good or bad or irrelevant. People have asked to know more about this AI, and I think this was like, hey, we need to try to, sprinkle a little bit of water on this fire that's burning with everything else. Let's give it to the people. Was it what the people wanted? Obviously 100 downvotes, I would have to say no. Truthfully, my opinion of the video was a lot of big words that 99.9% of the people had zero clue of what any of it meant without going to Google and trying to decipher scientific language. It tried to make it sound more spiffy than what it was, as many other people have mentioned. It's essentially the words just talking about increased resolution, larger scanned imaging. But overall, it sounds and seems as though it's what people were saying from the first video. You got a fancy scanner. Congrats. You got a guy looking at it on a screen. They show in the video, I don't know if I can scroll through here. Here's some of the words. I'm not going to play the video, but there's the words, here's the edge thing, trying to show this. Now, this I want to discuss because my thought, and where is it with the red? I'll show that real quick. Right here. My thought is that's a lot right there. Is this what they just would consider wear and tear, rough edges, round corners? What happens if a card comes in that's trimmed? Are they recognizing that? That's a huge question mark in my mind. There's several people out there that will tell you, looking at a trimmed card, it has rough, jagged edges, but, and somebody brought it up, I think it was in I Am Carlos, or Because I'm Carlos's video, the guy brought up, well, what do they do with an O-Pee-Chee, 79, the 70s O-Pee-Chee cards? They were rough cut. Do they have the experience to determine that that's how the card was made or that it was trimmed? Being that they've slabbed a fake Gretzky rookie, the Mahomes, all this other stuff, I don't have confidence in that. I don't care how fancy of, a scanner you have. I don't have confidence in that. So personally, I'm not real into the little custom flips and everything. If you are, that's great. I'm not knocking that part of it. If people want to buy them for their collection, they like the colorful flips and that, that sort of thing, so be it. But I do really want to emphasize, proceed with caution, because there's just too many little things that I've seen. Sure, the misspelling errors on flips. We had a guy in our group that had a card with the incorrect name on it. We've seen, what was it, the Mahomes and the Clyde Edwards-Helaire had the opposite name on it. We had a guy in our group that had a Josh Allen, Jim Kelly card, and they put it, I think it was Josh Kelly or Jim Allen. I can't remember which way they did it. And then sadly, the guy sent the card back and got the flip corrected, but the card came back with a huge defect right on the front of the card. And what bothered me most about all of that, because I'm not, I spoke on SGC, and, accidents happen. Cards will get damaged when there's high number going through there. They're not going to be 100% perfect. We know that. What concerned me with that was they slapped it right back in the slab, did not say nothing to the guy, and left it as a 9.5 Gem Mint grade. That concerned me. It was like, hey, we messed it up, but we graded it a 9.5 the first time. It's a 9.5 still. I didn't appreciate that. So this kind of made me wonder, will they pick up on trimmed cards? I don't have the confidence that they will. So anyway, so then, they show, I think it's somewhere in here, like they show this with centering stuff. Again, brought up several times in other videos, this card has borders. Very, very easy. You can buy, You know, the little centering tool on eBay, it's hard to use because the damn thing doesn't line up all that great. You know, you gotta. This would be easier, but this card has borders. What about the stuff that doesn't? You know, what about die cuts? How do you tell on the edges on die cuts? You know, what do they exemplify as acceptable edges or corners on die cuts? You know, Stadium Club Triumvirates, they have weird cuts to them. I think Bowman's Best used to have some really crazy cuts. Topps Laser has cuts in them. What are they doing to determine all of those? This card right here, you know, linchpins with the holes all in the card. Like what are they? How are they handling those things? That's the kind of stuff. You know, it's easy to throw a Steve Young up there with some borders and an iconic card and a card that's pretty impossible to get a 10 on or a gem mint on. And show this as your example, but show us something that makes us say, "Oh, this is a game changer." You didn't do that. You essentially just said, "Hey, we have a fancy scanner that does all these fancy little words." In layman's terms, blows the image up, straightens it, allows us to go in here and you know, put a centering tool on it. Also, another thing that I want to mention, I just noticed this on this card. So it says it determines the front from the background of the card. I am questioning that because I just did it, and I'll share it in a second. I just did a scan of a card and I removed the top portion of it. But if you look right here, that's actually showing like a shadow on the border of the card that it did not remove. That's very interesting to me. I don't know if that's a different image than they use for the surface. You know, I don't know. But I just noticed that that black line there along the green border is actually a shadow. So, do I feel that this is anything wowful? Hell no. I don't. I think this was a strategically timed video, like I said earlier, that they wanted to get out to try to sprinkle a little bit of water on the fire, redirect attention. It's still on their company. And whether this video is taken positively or negatively, it's still something that's shining onto their company. And it's not about a fake auto of a Patrick Mahomes. It's not about a slab that came apart. It's not about a fake Gretzky. It's about something within the company. You know, so I think to redirect that focus, you know, that was the intention of this. I don't really think they thought this was going to do anything of that extreme benefit. If they did, then they're sillier than I think. But realistically, in full truth, I'm not going to sit here and bash the company or anything. I have zero interest in using them. So whether or not they are using this anamorphic whatever crap, I don't see it being any good. I've seen too many issues with them. I don't trust that they actually can determine authentic cards versus counterfeits. I don't think that they would be able to accurately identify altered or trimmed cards. You know, obviously the slabs have quality issues. I'm not a fan of the colored labels. I don't think that, as the woman in the video all happily and smiley says, that they have expert graders. I just don't believe any of that. I'm not saying that they can't make it work. I'm just saying I don't have any interest in them on my behalf. If you choose to, that's great. You know, if it's something you want to slab up and have a cool label or whatever for your collection, that's great. I just don't have any interest in them on a personal level. Something else I want to discuss, and again, I'm not going to get into the sciences and, all this other crap, but that woman said it's a 32 DPI, or sorry, 3200 DPI scanner. And I did a little bit of digging around, uh, you know, photographic sites and things like that, pulling up, like, first off, what resolution can the human eye see in? Um, what resolution are monitors capable of being in? That was something really interesting to me because I don't even know that there's a monitor out there that can actually display the image in 3200 DPI. So I don't really know what the hell good having a 3200 DPI scanner for the imaging is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just couldn't find it. Um, but from what I read, like on photography and stuff like that, uh, most people are saying 3200 is just absolutely pointless. Um, there was some where I read that if it goes above a certain DPI, it actually has to have pixels placed in between other pixels to fulfill the resolution of the image. To me, that's like not actually the card. But again, I'm not an expert on any of that shit. I'm not gonna sit here and claim I am. I was just reading on some of it because I got to thinking 3200 isn't a number you hear thrown out a ton. Um, I think maybe they're just throwing that out there to make people think, oh wow, they got the shit. Um, anyway, here is my scanner. I have a Canon Pixma MG3620. If you go down through here, I have it right here. My scanning resolution is 1200 by 2400. Maximum optical color DPI produces incredible quality and detail. If you go over here, a 1200 by 2400 DPI unit is a 1200 DPI scanner. And that's what I have. So what I did was I took a card and I made a scan of it. Let me see if I can get this to where we can. Oh, we'll just do that. All right. So this is on a 1200 DPI scanner, right? Now I took the background away. You can see the background is all gone away. I don't have a shadow anywhere around on the card. So we're going to play HGA. This is essentially what they have. The card is straight. You can see here, you can use the little gray boxes as a tool for lining. Yeah, it might not be perfect. Please don't sit here and nitpick. This is just for an example. And I'm not doing centering on it anyway. But so when you zoom in here, now granted, I don't have the same thing. There's a little piece of lint that was on it. So you can see it starts to pixelate when I get too far in. This is at a 1200 DPI, obviously, like I said. I don't know if they have something, like I said, where it might fill in pixels to keep it smoother. How far in they're zooming. Let me see. How do I get it to scroll over? I need this. Okay. I need to go over here. All right. So looking at this scan right here, I'm going to go ahead and be quite honest with you guys. There is a defect on this card. It's not centering. It's not this what appears to be a scratch. It's not this fingerprint. This is something that actually came up in the reveal that I did on Saturday. There was a gentleman who had a card that came back a grade he did not expect. I showed why he got the grade on camera. He said that he didn't believe that was there. He actually sent us a photo of the card that he took before he sent it to us. And he was like, that spot wasn't there. You could not see it in his photograph. He then went to the video when I did the preview, and he was like, oh, it was there. It just had to hit the light. That's something I want to bring up about this. There are many, many, many occasions where you can scan an image and it does not act, or take a photo of an image and it does not clearly show the defects. I don't give a damn what resolution it's in, anything. Certain defects on a card can be hidden on a flat image. Now, when you get it into the light and you turn it a specific way, then you can see the defect. So I don't really know why they feel the need to blow these cards up in such high resolution imagery to inspect them. I don't know why they feel the need to upload a scan. You know, if it helps with the centering, great. But is it necessary to do that when the operator, they showed in the video, the operator still has to adjust the centering tool? So I'm not quite sure what the benefit of this is. I'm going to tell you guys, you cannot really detect. I'll go in more. Oh. So I will slowly go around this card. Scroll over here a little bit. Now, obviously, I said there was like some lint and stuff like that. I don't use my scanner to, pre-grade my cards or anything. But anyway, I'm going to tell you right now, you really can't tell what the defect is in this image. And I knew this card had the defect. I have some cards that I was working on last night. I'm going to try to finish them up tonight for platinum. And so I knew for a fact this card had a defect on it. And so I thought it would be a good candidate to share of why I don't know that this is the best thing. Let me click off of this real quick. Bring this up. So there's all, a bunch of the cards for platinum. There's actually more down here. So there's a bunch. So here's the card in question. The manual quickly. And I'm going to show you where the defect is. If you look right there, that is what I was talking about in the video Saturday. I believe it was on the Trey Lance that had a bubbling. My camera. Right there, you can see it. See how clear that is? Right on the damn camera. Now, when you go back over to this image, you don't see it. You can slightly tell when I zoom in. Slightly right here, you can tell there's something, but it doesn't show it anywhere near as clear as what it does when you're seeing it on camera. So that's one of them things. The light on a card can really show, especially under a lighted magnifying glass in a dark room. It can show much, much more than a high resolution scanned image, in my opinion. And just from experience, I've told y'all, I've actually I've looked at cards not under magnification. I go to put them in the preview. I'm looking at it. I'm like, damn, I missed that. The camera, it shows really, really well. And a lighted LED magnifying glass works really well. This, I think, is a little bit of overkill. They're trying to get too fancy with the terminology and everything to lead on that they're doing something immaculate out there. And just personally, not too impressed. I think the video speaks for itself with all of its dislikes. And from what I have heard, um, you know, from watching other people, that it's not it's not what the people were wanting. So anyway, I will say, again, I listened to a few videos and their opinions. There were some people that are in this kind of field. Dakota, he seemed like he knew about the AI kind of stuff. Um, because I'm Carlos was really good. Neo, like he said, it probably wasn't going to do the damn bit of good for him, because if people that like him are going to support it, people that don't aren't going to really like praise it and rush to HGA. So anyway, there's plenty of videos out there. I did this. I wasn't going to. I only did it because I was asked. If there's ever anything that you want me to talk about, feel free to reach out to me or comment on a video down below. If you enjoyed this video or any other ones that I've ever done that you've watched, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, whatever. And comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. But again, hope everybody has a good night. If you're watching the game tonight, enjoy it. And everybody have a great Friday. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.